than just the camera sound. I know. We've got 40 minutes left on this recording, and we've got 3 hours on our SD card, so we're looking good. Looking very good. So now Victor is putting in these top and bottom spreaders. He actually is putting in the back spreader. Look at that. That's what those cabinets look like. Now that's the top of the cabinet that the rough top goes on, which the finished top goes on, onto the rough top. This is just the boxes. We're doing good. We're looking good here, folks. Looking good. So the box is made. Now Victor is going to measure for, or at least get a dimension for his top and bottom nailers. I went ahead and used 4-inch because or actually we can use a 3-inch for that, Victor. And make them more like the size of the box. Okay. You can probably get them both out of that, right? Yeah, sure. Yeah. Easy. Easy. So these are the nailers, and again, I'm going to discuss the components of this cabinet making with you all at some point. But in the meantime, suffice to say that those are the nailers. Victor's going back over to the chop saw. You notice he's not using his tape again. He's using the Biesmeyer tape on the saw, and he's got a block that's exactly 10 inches, so he doesn't have to go all the way to that. That piece is totally adjustable. He's going to cut that piece. Now he's going to cut that piece, and the same stop block. So those two pieces will be exactly the same length, with no measuring and trying to cut to one side of the line or another. Now those are going to go on the top and on the bottom of the cabinet, and those are our nailers. That's going to give you a 3/4 of an inch of space between the wall and the outside of the back of the cabinet, which gives the inside of the cabinet and the wall 1 inch of space, which can come in handy depending upon how bad your wall is. But that nailer means when you screw through the back of that cabinet, you're not screwing and trying to hold your cabinet on to the wall. And attaching it to a wall, any attachment to the wall, you're not trying to do it through 1/4 inch plywood, which just isn't going to work. So by the time you add these nailers as integral parts of your cabinet, you got a 1 inch back to go through, and that's enough back to make sure that that screw doesn't go anywhere. Then you want to go through drywall and into a stud or a masonry anchor or whatever we're going to. Typical for us, we're going into a stud. So that is the box built without the door. Of course, we're not going to do a drawer on this, but that's without the door. And now Victor is going to... Victor, you want to hang the door first or build the kick?
We can hang the door, keep going, or we can build it.
Oh shit, did I do it? Did I mess up and have you cut?
Yeah, but I think we have enough.
Oh yeah, we do.
Because you want to make the kick...
we'll make the kick flush and then 2 inches in from the front.
Oh, flush with the cabinet.
Yeah, flush on the width.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, flush on the width, and I mean, and that supports it, right? As long as it's not over flush, so you're in the way of another cabinet. I mean, if you were doing this, would you cut it slightly under?
Exactly. It's better.
Like an eighth under or something like that? Okay, so if you understood that, Victor's going to cut this kick width-wise. He's going to cut it about an 1/8 inch under width-wise, so nothing would stick out to interfere butting up to another cabinet, because these are unfinished ends. And again, if you don't understand what I'm talking about, and I suspect you don't, I will be explaining unfinished ends and finished ends and all kinds of different stuff to you as we get further into this course. Even though this is beginning finish carpentry, I want you to know about cabinet making, and I just happen to have a commercial shop at my disposal where I can show you guys what's up.
You want to have 2 inches
Yeah, 2 inches in, that should give you a what did I cut listed as?
And flush on the back.
Yeah, I made that 13 and a half? No, I made that 10 and a half, right?
I have 8 and
Oh wait, you're gonna be 2 inches from here, right?
yes, we're 2
Okay.
inches from here.
Yeah.
Is the 3/4?
Less your inch and a half, right?
Yeah.
Right, you're
less.
gonna go all the way. These guys.
And you want this flash? I don't think we go flash. to the
Yeah,
back.
yeah, that's fine. That's fine. That's fine. So as you see, Victor is laying out the kick on the actual cabinet. Now we could do this with numbers, but we want to make sure that when we make the kick, it does what we want it to do, which is support the cabinet, but not get in the way of the other cabinets that are going to abut to either side of this cabinet, because these are unfinished ends, which means we're going to have cabinets abutting on either side of them if this were a real cabinet job. And if it weren't a real cabinet, if it was a real cabinet job, those unfinished ends could become finished ends, and that would be a little bit different story. And we'll talk about that at some point too. So now he's going to cut the kicks, and remember what I said about loose kicks, right? Versus integral kicks, loose kicks, loose kicks, loose kicks. And if you get asked the question on a test, what does Mr. Utt prefer in European style cabinetry? Does he prefer loose kicks or integral kicks? You're going to answer loose kicks. There's one side and 2 sides. Okay. Oops. That's not good. All right, there we go. Now Victor's building the kick. And then Victor, before we hang that door, after you build the kick, will you just throw in a couple of screws just so they see how these screws work? I'll get a screw and show you what they look like. Nope, it's not okay. I'll have to get them from Victor. Shit, you know what I forgot? A way to attach the kick to the cabinet. Just put one in the middle and then just tack it? Right, one flat in the middle?
We can actually, what we are doing
Do we have...
lately is just to go 2 inches here, and we know it's 3/8 after that, and we can put one screw and one screw and one screw.
I like it. I like it a lot. I like it a lot. Okay.
So this is going to be 2 and 3/8.
God damn that hamburger I ate. Okay, I'm back. I had to fill up my water bottle. Ooh, look at that. And here's our screws. What are these anyway? I can't remember what they're called. They have a name. Do you remember what their name is?
Wood screws.
There's self-tapping and self-countersinking as well. But they got a name, and I could never remember the dang name.
Self-tapping because
They drive themselves in. No pilot hole is required to get them going. And they also have little cutting lips. I'll show you a screw up close. They also have a little cutting lips right here. Those little things right there on the underside of the countersink, those cut the countersink. So you see those going flush? Those are dead flush. Those are dead flush. And thank God this is attached, because it done fell off. Screw. Yeah. This is really HD too. This camera is just killer. It's the school's camera. They have really good equipment. So this, folks, now this is what our cabinet looks like without a door. No drawer. If we were going to do a drawer, we would probably put a mid spreader below the drawer and then hang a drawer in there, but we're just hanging a door. Door's going to hang on it like that, and it's going to hang on, and Victor's going to lay out. Actually, it's not going to do much layout. The machine's going to do the layout, but he's going to bore and insert our hinges, and then put in the base plates, clip on the hinges, and hang the door. And there it is.
you're going to open right or left.
Let's open it the first way. So yeah, right,
So,
right.
so we always mark. So
Yeah, mark hinge side. See that? Victor's marking the hinge side of the door. And that, yeah, I want to be able to walk up the door, and it's hinged right. So in hinging, and this is something that's going to be on your chest, I want you to remember this, in calling out the hand of any hinging, you put your butt to the butts, and you use your hand as the door. So there's no butt hinges here, but you would put your butt to the butts. Wait, how would this work? Butt to the butts, right, it's a right-hand door, left-hand door. And in this case, you would grab that latch, the knob with your right hand. That also makes it a right-hand door. And now the base plates, so we're not using inserters anymore? You're using dowels? Not using the
yes, we are using this.
inserters for the hinges, but not for the base plates.
No.
Because they have base plates that are inserters too. And they just click.
Click.
Yeah. They click in. They're probably a lot more expensive, and so it's not that big a deal. So right now, Victor's going to put on the base plates, and everything's indexed in this 32 millimeter hole pattern. And there's a base plate. Now these base plates do come. Is that a Euro screw? Yeah. He's using a 5 millimeter Euro screw to set those. Let's see. See that? It's a nice fat screw. Huh? Yeah, really holds them in there. Now they also make a base plate that's in Serta that just goes in the hole, and then a spring-loaded dog. You clip it closed, and it drives the dogs into the hole and holds it. But screws are a little more positive. Take just a minute longer, maybe 60 seconds. Okay, those base plates are on with this pointed forward. Always point it forward. A little arrow, right? Point it forward.
Just to check, I always check the center.
Good
The
point.
bottom one is no problem. It's just not easy.
Because it's going to index. You're just going to count, right?
Correct.
As long as the top one's right, then the other one is indexed on 32 millimeters. So let's go see what Victor's doing here. He's setting up the Blum machine for this door and this cabinet. And there it is. So he just hooked it up to the air. And now he's about to bore it. This hard rock maple, by the way, which is not an easy thing for anybody to bore, except for us right now.
In this case,
Oh,
because the door is not flush, we just have to add it an 1/8 of an inch
We got a
piece, so it doesn't do.
yeah, so it doesn't turn, right? Yeah, it won't do it. They won't even let you do it, right?
Yeah.
So we got to have some 1/8 inch material.
Correct.
And you got some spacers for just that. Look at that. Oh my God, Victor, you are ready. Nothing's thrown you yet.
No.
You know, this is a whole different ballgame with Scott. I love Scott, though, I gotta tell you.
Okay, see, now he didn't do it. He just let us go.
Wow. Wow.
We're going to check how is the other one.
Make sure it's indexed. So this is an insert a hinge. All you had to do is put that in there and then close it, and it drove the dogs in. You'll see it on the next one, or maybe we'll show it to you on this one. That's all you do to get it up. There's the hole, there's the hinge. Okay.